We're getting you guys some commentators over here, don't worry. So it's going to be Advo versus Ryuga for our grand finals.
Is this Grands?
Yep.
Nice. I actually got to stay here the whole time.
And I got to clean up. Then we got to do the interview, too.
Oh, yeah, the interview.
Oh, I need to update those top 8. All right. I'll let you guys take over.
Okay. I mean, I'm not sure what to say that I haven't about each player that I haven't already said before. And I'm not sure what to say about Ryuga just because I haven't seen him play before. I know he's good.
Yeah, I've seen him on stream, but I haven't watched too much of his stuff.
I know, like all caps. And starting off, they're just going straight at each other.
Yeah. Trying to wall off Ryuga so they can't get his aerials in on him.
Yeah. Advo is creating a very effective sort of barrier. Ryuga's been only able to get it about 37%. Which then again, one good combo is probably enough to put him in the same same amount of kill percent as Advo's got him in right now.
Yeah, Ike is a pretty heavy hitter.
He's got a big.
So far,
And he can just like string a lot of hits together. Just got a big old sword.
yeah. At the moment, Advo's got a big lead on him.
And like I said, that just sort of happens. Ooh, dude, charge shot just barely sneaks through the nair. Did the nair still connect though? I think it did.
I think it did. I saw.
Yeah,
It looked
that
like
was-
he had a trade in there.
Yeah, it was really actually like I think it hit both. I think like the charge shot went out, the nair hit them, and then the charge shot hit him.
Now Advo's
Interesting.
got a lead, but won't take
Yeah,
much
it's not-
for Ryuga to even it up.
It's not much of a lead against like Ike.
He's got a nice amount of extra credit now. Building a nice safe lead.
And F tilt almost looked like it didn't hit him. Just gonna close out the stock. Advo's just taking a lot of consistent neutral wins and pulling a good amount from them.
Yeah, kind of like nickel and diming on Ryuga.
Yeah, definitely. For the most part, Samus is kind of a nickel and dime character until you get that charge shot going.
Nice spot dodge on the grab, though.
Tried to catch the side B with his air, but was just a bit too low. And neither one hit each other. Yeah, Advo's got a kind of handy league, but never mind. Commentator's
Nearly
curse. Yeah. I guess Advo's still in the lead quite handily. And the forward air just keeping him out consistently.
Looks like this might be over pretty soon.
And that dash attack. I'm bad at commentating grains. I'm going to try to get someone else. I'm not worthy.
For round 2, they're off the battlefield. Staying pretty even so far this round.
All right, what's up? I know nothing of the game's mechanics, but I have a general knowledge of commentary, so I'll do my best. I'm used to hosting and interviewing.
So far, this one's staying fairly even, though. Ryuga took first blood here.
Yeah, I've noticed.
The more even than the beginning of the last one. Previously, Advo got a commanding lead, then it got close towards the end. This one's staying a little closer to even.
Yeah, I noticed he established lead really early in game 1. Right off the bat, he was up to stock.
It's almost even again.
I gotta say, Advo's come here nearly every week, and I've seen him as a player grow, obviously week by week. And even if you start to look better to an ignorant spectator, that's how you really know. You know, you can tell he's just making better decisions. He's punishing better. He's taking about every mechanic of the game, seems like more seriously, and it's in his performance. You know, he's executing everything. It seems like to his, standards at least.
Yeah.
And you have to against Ryuga. You know, some claim the best in Michigan, right? So, with that in mind, you have to play at your best.
These grand finals are always so close matches too.
Absolutely. That will kill. Gosh, these sword characters. Very interesting to deal with.
Yeah. And Ike is interesting. He's like, he hits so hard,
that will kill.
He's a little bit slow, yeah.
Absolutely. Despite all of the impressive efforts by Ryuga, and even for Advo, it's been close the entire game. They've been going back and forth, stock for stock. And once again, Ryuga seeming to close the gap. I changed my mind on that. Now doubled his percent. Advo establishing a steady lead right now. This needs to be one of those 120% kills, not one of those 200% if he wants to win this game, because otherwise, in a matter of seconds, Ryuga will sneak the game in game number 2.
Ryuga's close to kill percent.
Absolutely. It's funny, you could argue they both are. With Ike killing the way he does, 73 now.
So far, Advo's been surviving up into the mid-hundreds, even against the hard-hitting Ike.
It's going to be a good back throw, sending him off the stage. He will obviously recover. Advo very good at, I feel like, avoiding getting edge guarded a lot. You know, he goes back and forth quite a bit, and Samus gives you the ability to do all types of different, you know, more difficult to deal with movement. An up throw, which just nearly kills, maybe a few percent more, but that will kill. Send him flying into the air. 2-0 right now. So, question to you, do you think Advo is riding off of the momentum from Losers Finals, or do you think this is going to stay consistent throughout even the bracket reset? Because
I suspect this will stay pretty consistent. I mean, I don't really see much fluctuation when he plays. You know, he seems to stay pretty consistent one level.
Absolutely, I agree.
So I'd expect to see the same level of intensity
and he's
throughout
sick.
the rest of it.
I mean, he's playing sick. You know, very impressive. He was also at a tournament earlier today. He's probably very mentally and physically exhausted. So, you know, but it seems like he's got one final stride, one final push.
Yeah, I wasn't sure whether he was wearing a costume or sick at first.
Yeah, I had to ask him myself. Absolutely. But he doesn't. He's not playing like it, right? He's playing out of his mind right now.
Doesn't seem to be affecting him that much.
Absolutely. He's proving that sponsorship worth it, you know, doing as good as he is. How about the combos from Ike? Just sometimes too deadly to deal with. Already at 70% in a matter of two situations.
Yeah. I'm surprised Advo isn't punishing more of those dash recoveries from Ryuga.
Yeah. It's almost as if he's not looking to punish them. He's just looking for other things to capitalize on.
Yeah.
Because he has let them go for free without really any kind of question. That's going to kill. Yeah. That's not what you want.
Ryuga's taking a little bit of different strategy, staying closer to the edge, even jumping off on purpose. He wasn't doing that in the previous two games.
Yeah. Those micro adjustments are what make these players the best, at least in the state. And you're going to see a lot of changes. It's like, you know, a long game of chess in a way.
Yeah.
Constant changes being made. A lot of adaptation happening.
Well, the edge is good too for Ike, because when he uses his Aether, he goes up and he has a long hitbox. It's like hard to punish.
Yeah. And again, as we've said, the health is right back to even once again. No matter what kind of lead either player establishes, it's quickly taken away in the very next stock. Only to further prove the point, Ryuga down 40%, now up by 30%. Getting closer and closer to that kill range with Ike. Very good blocks in the fireballs. He has not allowed those to, you know, really.
He's got to watch for that charge shot, because that'll.
It seems like Ryuga's having a hard time finding the hits he needs due to all of Samus's pressure and the ways to keep you out of that range. All Ryuga wants to do is get in, and all Advo wants to do is keep him out. So that's his opening. Advo off stage. Good spot dodge. And that'll kill, just like that. We've talked about Ike's kill percentage, or rather his kill power, and it's very, very obvious.
Yeah, despite the adjustments, this is by Ryuga. This is more or less what was happening last time. You know.
Yeah. And we've seen him getting put on the back pedal before, right? Smash Rush number 2 or 3, Grand Finals Ryuga versus Lavish. Lavish managed to come back in a similar fashion that Advo's doing right now through losers. Ended up being the most viewed set because it was amazing to see Ryuga being taken down a notch for once. And it seems like we're seeing a similar story here with Advo, but he has to keep this up, right? He can't fizzle out when the bracket resets. He can't, afford to lose these next few games because he needs to keep that energy going into the bracket reset if he wants to see another 3 victories over potentially the best of Michigan.
Yeah.
However, he's off to a good pace. 72% now, nearing 80.
He's keeping really consistent pressure, though. He hasn't really let up at all.
Not at all. Can't find room to breathe right now. He's getting hit by a barrage of different attacks.
But he's switching up from throwing in some Zares in there to try to mix up his aerials.
This isn't looking good right now for... Oh, never mind. He managed to get... And that'll kill in a very surprising fashion, which will symbolize our bracket reset. We are now back to 0-0. I'm going to take a quick second to update this bracket. clarify that there actually has, in fact, been a reset right now. Take this time to thank everybody for watching, competing, playing. Also, all you at home watching. I know a lot of you guys are going to be on YouTube seeing this later, so we appreciate that just as much. It is kind of late right now, Eastern. It's 11:30, so...
Back to Pokemon Stadium.
So we've been talking quite a bit about what Advo needs to do, right, in terms of keeping up the pressure, keeping up the momentum maybe from losers finals that he may have had, and how he's been doing. But to get more in Ryuga, what do you think he needs to do to, that was a quick 3-0, and clearly something needs to change.
Yeah, I think he needs to adapt a little bit. Advo's staying too far away, able to charge up and get his projectiles out.
Yeah.
He's got to get a little bit closer. Samus, relatively heavy for a projectile character.
Absolutely.
So not exactly the fastest moving. So if Ryuga can really get in there, then...
That's for stock once again. However, as we've stated multiple times, this has been a back and forth. Even though it was a 3-0, you could argue, if you were just simply looking at the bracket and saw a 3-0, you would think it was dominance. But this has come down to nearly the last hit of every game, so
yeah,
it does seem closer than it really, the bracket
Advo's
depicts.
been winning. Yeah, he's been up in the 120 range of percent every single time.
Yeah, and then he goes on these vortex of hits.
Could kill.
Absolutely. And that will, in fact, kill. Just like that. All it takes is one little vortex of hits for Ryuga to kind of keep him in the game, which is what he's been doing this whole time to kind of stay around. But same as the slow and insidious killer, slowly mounting percents. Good back throw. Ryuga almost started something there, getting past those bombs.
Yeah, keep seeing Advo do the jump and aerial.
Yeah.
I think Ryuga needs to punish that a little bit more.
It seems like it's hitting quite a lot more often than...
Yeah, maybe Ryuga needs to back up a little bit, try to, catch him when he lands on that if he keeps throwing it out.
That'll kill. All Ryuga can hope for is another series of strikes that'll take Advo off the stage, which unfortunately didn't connect anything of value.
A little bit of a bad roll there, right into him.
The lead is climbing for Advo. Ryuga needs to find a solution very quickly before this gets out of hand. Yeah, Diablo 2 stock getting more and more likely right now as Ryuga's trying to find any kind of opening, but it's not looking too great right now as Advo.
It's looking fairly grim.
That's a start, but he needs just a little bit more. Unfortunately, that's not the right decision.
Yeah, we saw it earlier that when he did Aether,
wow, amazing
Advo
call
just
right
punished
there.
him, hit him with a charge.
Instantly knocks him off. This is the Advo that I'm sure he's been wanting. I'm sure he's very happy with his play, or at least to a certain extent. In the event that he ends up winning, I'll be, asking him, obviously, to the traditional question of how did you play to your own standards 1 out of 10? I would be very surprised if it was less than an 8 or a 9, because to me, he's making every single correct decision that he could possibly make. Yeah, he's getting hit, fair enough. He's not playing perfect, but could you hope for much more than what you're doing right now? It's currently 4-0 in the set, and I don't think these two played, right? Blade managed to knock Advo into losers, right? He did.
Yeah, I don't think they played yet so far.
And so this is the first time they're playing, and I'm not sure.
Yeah, Advo's really keeping up the even more pressure for anything. This time he, got even finished Ryuga even quicker this time.
Absolutely. That was a very quick game for Samus. Absolutely. As Advo has said on Twitter, he's used to expecting a set going 30 or 40 minutes, and this, that game number 1 of set number 2 did not imply this would go any longer than 15 to 20. So long as Ryuga doesn't, figure something out that he would need to.
The minor thing that's amusing me is that Advo's choosing Dark Samus on PS2, but then regular Samus on Battlefield.
Very interesting. At a certain point, it just seems like it's, to spice things up.
They're pretty similar. They're They have a few minor differences, but
Yeah.
they're not major.
Yeah. That would be your field. Tell me the differences of those two. That would not be mine.
Yeah, like one of them, I think the charge shot fires a little lower for Dark Samus,
Gotcha.
and then the other is one of the others is the jump is sort of Samus, like the double jump goes into a ball, and for Dark Samus it's just a jump. But they're really minor differences.
Yeah,
I think Dark Samus is slightly floatier.
absolutely. Well, we're starting off on, not too bad of a start for Ryuga. It's kind of what you want to see.
It really needs to, take the first stock and get a whole lot of
Yeah.
extra credit before the Advo catches up to him again.
That will do it. Convincingly.
He needs to get him up to about 60 or so before he loses his first stock at least.
So what I've noticed with these whole back and forths is it typically goes Advo gets the stock, but then Ryuga follows very shortly after with a very powerful kill of about 90 to 100. This is the first time in at least the last few games that Ryuga has managed to, start with an established lead. And again, seeing as how he kills a little bit quicker than Samus does, that might...
But he hasn't racked up too much.
That
Only
will
28%.
kill across the stage. That's not good at all. Back again to square one, though, for Advo with Ryuga. Again, what can you say about that? The series of hits that puts his percent so quickly up to the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, he gets some nice long strings in there, but then
Absolutely.
it basically just trades back, and Advo gets his long string. They're more or less just switching off who's in charge.
It almost seems like Ryuga's finally taking so much damage, so long as 1 in every 4 hits is his own little combo of moves, because that will, even just like that, He took a series of hits, but then he found his one opening every 4 strikes, and it ends up, about tying the health, because...
But Ryuga's really not challenging off stage. He's mostly just staying on ledge.
Yeah.
He's really just waiting to punish whatever Advo does, rather than throwing out attacks or
Good call out right
jumping
there.
off.
Very good call out. I don't want to be premature, but it does seem like Ryuga may has figured out a few smaller things that is helping him so far, because this is looking a lot more convincing than game number 1. Fireball
Yeah, that's
connects.
the kind of lead needs to start racking up.
Advo mounting some kind of comeback. Is it too late, too little, though? Didn't completely hit him. He was really fishing for that strike there, and it kind of cost him a little bit. This will be a back throw, which won't kill, but will pull him off stage.
But even if
That will kill. There it is.
still pretty good shape for Ryuga though. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he's already got a 100% lead.
This is a good start, and that... We're
Takes
back
the first
in.
game.
We're back in. We're back in. That will kill, however. As Ryuga now ties it up 1-1. And in the nick of time, because it really is one, you gotta wonder, Advo wins the set 3-0. Then he goes up 2-0 in the next set. It almost seems like it's over. I don't recall a lot of situations where that goes down and the person who is down 5-0 ends up winning. So at in my opinion, the very last moment that could have been, Ryuga finds his stride.
Yeah.
Able to show why he is in Grand Finals winner's side. Wasn't there for no reason. He beat a lot of really good players to get here, so
There's the switch back to Dark Samus form again.
absolutely.
Change of stage now.
The stage is set for game number 3.
So far, we've only seen Battlefield and PS2.
Very strong start for Advo right now. Albert Ryuga. It's a throw. Doesn't really capitalize on it too well, however. Only 8%.
Bit of a smaller stage, so we'll see
Absolutely.
some quicker kills here.
Charging up the fireball. It will kill with the bomb included. That will take him to 2 stocks. Good start for Advo. This is what you want. You want to build as much as you can because you know once he goes on his little vortex at some point, it's going to be, get very deadly for Advo. Even at 69%, it's something to concern yourself with. Now at 86, so you really want to get as much percent as you can, or as many percents rather. That will kill, just like that. As we were, in a matter of seconds, you get 67, and there it goes.
Yeah, so Advo's been killing around 150, so he's got about half a stock down on Ryuga right now.
Yeah. If we ever get like those stats for the set, across 2 sets, I'd be very curious to see the average percent to kill and just damage given, because I'm sure it would be not what you'd expect, even though the results.
But it varies so much by player to player and character to character.
Absolutely.
I mean, everyone has their habits.
In this set specifically, we would see a big discrepancy. Advo could win this set 3-0, but
yeah, Advo's
wouldn't
overall been
necessarily
putting on way more damage.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, for sure. Let me rephrase. Ryuga could win the set, or rather win this game, and the percents wouldn't necessarily show that.
And they're near the same weight. They're both
Yeah.
in the heavier side of things. So, the difference in percent says
Absolutely
a little bit too. While Advo's winning, it's not been easy for him.
Wow. A very quick kill for Ryuga. 1 stock to 1 stock, 1 game to 1 game. A little risky with the fireball. He's trying to force it, it seems. He's going to get him punished for it. So he's now off stage.
But he's been landing a pretty considerable number of the charge shots.
He's doing a very good job, but with any character based on spacing and fireballs and whatnot, all it takes is that one opening, and all of a sudden you're on the back burner, and what comes next.
The charge shot is usually like a punish tool, but he's been throwing it out quite a bit, even the small ones, because Ryuga has very little defense against.
Yeah,
Like has
he's playing against. He's playing the set properly. He seems like he knows the matchup. He's playing it well, and that's going to come down onto the fireball, which will kill, putting Advo up 2-1 over Ryuga. I'm going to be honest, I've seen a lot of these sets go down, a lot of these pacing the way that this has gone. I would have expected Ryuga not to lose a single game after he won. I feel like he may have figured a few things out, but it appears Advo has, figured a few things out of his own, respectively. So what I would have thought would have been a 2-1 for Ryuga ends up being a 2-1 for Advo, which is why I'm not that good.
But, I mean, he started throwing out more and more charge shots as he was going. I mean, he had that charge shot that killed was only like half charged at most.
Yeah. This does seem, again, and I don't want to speak out of turn because I'm not too familiar with matchups, but this does feel, from a spectator's perspective at least, it does feel like it's a bit of an issue for Ike. He's kind of having struggles getting in. Now, granted, he can kill quickly, but it seems, you get a little frustrated. You kind of go in when you shouldn't have, and you get absolutely obliterated for it, which isn't good. It's not what you want at all. But maybe a lot of characters have that problem with Samus, seeing as how that's the point, right?
Yeah, so Samus is a little different because it's kind of like has a lot of projectiles, but there's also like all the tether grabs, all the aerials are close range. He has a lot of
just like that right there,
very
tether
close
grab.
range, like scrapping sort of tools.
Yeah, absolutely. So with a good, just like that, wow, you would have sworn that this game was going to Advo, and for the first 30 seconds, and in a matter of, a few series of good decisions, Ryuga takes the first stock. So we've talked about how Samus is a good way to keep you out, and also a good way to, brawl with you in. So what exactly do you think Ryuga has to do at this point?
So I mean, like I said before, I think it's really just a matter of staying close. I mean, Samus can
That's a good
punish
fireball,
like with the outer shield with the up B, which is quite damaging.
Okay.
Well, it hits a lot harder than it looks, but still, Ryuga needs to keep him real close because it's better to be hit by an aerial than be hit by the charge shot or something like that.
Absolutely. Despite the skill of a Samus that's in close, there's no other option. That's what you have to deal with.
Yeah.
Which is probably where a lot of the frustration against playing Samus comes from, because it doesn't seem like, you finally get your reward of getting in, and then you get completely boxed out right back out to that range of, of neutral again. So it can get under your skin most definitely.
But still, Advo isn't punishing too much all the dash recoveries of Ryuga.
Yeah.
So quite frequently, Ryuga is landing on the stage,
That'll-
and
Oop,
it's
doesn't kill, but
fairly
very
unsafe.
close.
But Advo's not necessarily punishing them all either.
I have a good chunk of percent here, but again, it almost seems like they're both in kill range, right? I mean, there we go. Just like, doesn't actually kill, but
Trying to catch him with his recovery.
again, he's very
Try to
smart
give
with
him.
avoiding a lot of the ways that these players will edge guard. Advo's always been very good at that. Gets away from that. Good DI. That will, however, kill. Nothing you can really do about that. Very good strike from Ryuga.
We'll see how much extra credit he can.
That will
wrap
kill
in.
as well,
Oh,
and we are now down to
0-0.
0-0, last stock, potentially last stock of the tournament. I would love to see a Game 5, though. I don't want to be biased, but more Smash is all right with me. However, a strong start from Advo might be proving me wrong here. Hit by the fireball once again.
Ooh,
Doesn't kill, but
it's close.
it's very close right now. Advo back to the center stage.
That was a
Now knock
good
off the edge.
baiting tactic for Advo, staying up on that platform. You know, it's really unsafe for Ryuga because you can the tether grab and everything. You throw him right off the stage or
Yeah.
anything like that.
Ryuga knocking Advo off the stage. He's got to get something going right here and now. That kill. Oh, it doesn't kill.
Didn't
It's
kill
so
yet.
close right now. And again, he very quickly and intelligently gets back on the stage right now. There's a little bit of the charge shot, but nothing too punishable. That will hit. That will kill, unfortunately, for Advo. That has to
No.
suck. 120%. You had a strong lead. The tournament was in your grasp. And unfortunately, Ryuga rips it away. We are now going to game number 5.
Yeah, so after losing 4
Of
in a
set
row, he's
number
now
2.
evened it up. So
Absolutely.
what a good change for Ryuga.
I'm not even sure which interview questions I should be preparing for because we are really going to a complete even game number 5. I cannot tell you who's going to win. Sometimes you get a feel for it, If Advo had gone up 2-0 in the set, it'd be a safe prediction to assume he would have won, the 6th game. But Ryuga clawing back at every single time. We thought, maybe this is over when Advo went up game 1, set 2, but, just then, and he continues to prove us wrong, So I'm really happy he's here, though. He's been very busy doing his own thing, and I respect that. But it's nice to see that he can still make time for places like this, So it's cool to see. Absolutely. We just need Zanotto here now. We'll have the official, not everyone on the PR, but just about everybody, except for maybe 1 or 2.
They're back,
Go ahead.
back to PS2 yet again.
Absolutely. A standard stage right there.
Most people like PS2.
I like it. I like the look and feel. I seen a little bit of, what was it, Lilats? It's called Lilats?
I don't know. See many people play Lilat. Nobody seems to really like it. Everyone seems to like PS2. I'm not one of
No,
them.
I'm saying I don't actually enjoy watching. It's not really appealing to me in terms of at least the color scheme and how satisfying it is to look at. However, I've always been a fan of this. It's got a good. It's themed. I like the countdown in the background because it's just a good stage to watch for spectators. Probably the best stage to watch. Anyways, back to the game. Ryuga off to a very steady lead, 50%. But both players clearly had the capability of winning regardless of the percents, the stocks, the set count. So you can never really truly count anybody out until the final stock has been eliminated from either person. And very smart when he does that move. What's that one right there? What's that called?
The charge shot?
Okay. Very smart of him to kind of get out of range of any kind of punish after the charge shot. Goes for the back throw, which nearly kills. Doesn't exactly. That will kill, however. Not good for Advo. Very unfortunate
Ryuga
right now.
Took the lead, but I mean,
That's
he's
going to
in
hurt.
kill percent himself.
Nearly every move of Advo's will kill at this rate. He just needs to get the one hit that'll send him off the stage, Ryuga off the stage, which he found it. There it is, back to 0-0 once again. What has been the theme of the whole tournament, or rather the whole set, has now been, reapplied to the 5th game of set 2.
All the charge shots that are being landed are quite punishing because they give you that little bit of stun.
Absolutely.
So it's just a little more time for Advo
Anything.
to react.
Goes for the call by backing up just a little bit amount and doing another slashing attack. Doesn't, however, connect. Bombs come down, but nothing connects for Advo. Hasn't got any.
Almost even too.
Hasn't got any charge shots been able to hit, which has been proven through the stocks, or rather the percent. So Ryuga has managed to. We're nearly tied, 113 on the second stock. This is what you want to see out of grand finals, though, right? You don't want it's never really truly fun unless you're a fan of one of the players to see a complete blowout. If you're a big fan of Smash and the game as a whole, you want to see truly the best that you can see. And this are the two best players here today. It's very clear to see.
It's always good to have it being a nail-biting final.
Absolutely.
Even if someone you like to see the it get really close. So, you're that
Yeah.
worried the person you want to win, might not make it.
Absolutely. And dare I say, this is probably the and that's going to kill.
Second kill
Cut
by
myself off there.
up B.
Advo. Dare I say, this is the most competitive Smash Rush we've ever had. I mean, there was a few other really, really good ones, but I mean, seriously, 1 through 15th seed were all people that I personally have seen place well at respectively different events. So, very impressed to see all the amazing talent come out. And that's going to tie up the stocks 1-1. We are now going to the final stock of the tournament. Winner of this will be the winner of Smash Rush number 16.
Advo's got quite a commanding lead here.
Absolutely.
70%. He's halfway there.
Uses the charge shot, putting him back to square one.
And Ryuga's going to hit a lot of those up Bs.
Is that up B right there, right? That was up B?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the up B has been connecting quite a lot, I noticed, for Advo, as he knocks Ryuga off the stage once again.
But so far this stock, Ryuga's only racked up around 30.
Absolutely.
So he's in a bit of trouble here.
The fireball's going to connect as well, and the stun you've talked about, very clear there. And that's going to hit again. That'll kill. There it is. Advo, 3-2. Let me take care of this really quick. Feel free to say your final thoughts. I'm going to go ahead and get Advo for the interview.